Like 6 months ago, I made my little hot take video on like NBA basketball and whatnot for the season. It didn't really get a lot of views. This isn't a basketball channel. I didn't really expect to get a lot of views on it, but like we're gonna revisit all the shit that I said and like see how it aged well, if it aged well at all. My first take was
number one, I got Donovan Mitchell winning MVP this season.
this one aged poor as shit, especially since now it's like game 3 as I'm recording this right now. Game 3 of the first round, and Donovan Mitchell is playing like fucking hot dog water. Luka hasn't even been playing against him. It's looking really shitty. Like people are gonna be smoking that D-Mitch pack like really fucking soon, especially since the defense on the team is looking shitty. Baguette Biyombo can't keep up on the perimeter, and it's showing even more since they're getting their asses cooked by Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen fucking Brunson. Ultimately, this team has the potential to be good, and there are moves that like obviously need to be made, but the ineptitude of the front office as well as their coaching staff has just been amplified more than ever. Take number 2.
Portland Trailblazers missed the playoffs this past season.
There's gonna be niggas like, oh well, Dame got injured. They would have been a whole lot better with Dame. Dame was playing like shit when he was playing. The Trailblazers are a lot like the Jazz in the sense that they can't really guard much of anybody on the perimeter, except the Jazz at least have Rudy Gobert on the inside. Yusuf Nurkic isn't gonna do much for you. Now I'm happy to say that I was correct about the team missing the playoffs and stuff, because I mean like, oh, like I was right about something, like yay for me and shit. But at the same time, watching how Dame moves as well as watching how Portland moves is really fucking annoying. I feel like Dame is giving off the message that no matter how toxic a relationship is, you should stay with it because loyalty is everything. And I think it's kind of embarrassing how Portland's clearing up all this cap space to hopefully get a second star around Dame when nobody yet, nor will they ever, just happily go to fucking Portland. I've never been to Portland. What the fuck is in Portland?
New York Knicks also missed the playoffs.
Now, my main reasons for the Knicks not making the playoffs was because of what I said before with their whole three-point shooting and all that. I didn't know that Julius Randle was going to regress from Orange Julius to hot dog water. And early on in the season, there were flashes of this team showing that, you know, like, oh, they could like really prove me wrong and actually do something in the East. But as the season went on, we saw more and more that team fucking sucks. Like the team as a whole was just an embarrassment for people who are Knicks fans. I'm sorry if you are. You had to deal with Julius Randle shooting below 40% and complaining about how the refs weren't giving him the calls that he felt like he so deserved, because all of a sudden, since you made one All-NBA team, you're just some superstar that should just be accommodated for playing like shit. You have to deal with RJ Barrett, who still, to this day, just won't go right. For a decent portion of the season, you still had to deal with Kemba Walker shooting like 30% from the field and smiling about it because that's just what he does. I feel like the only real positive of the entire New York Knicks season is the fact that you got rid of Kevin Knox and you really, like, fleeced the Atlanta Hawks out of Cam Reddish. Fourth take.
Before Sadiq Bey, most improved player this year.
Aged pretty poorly for mainly 2 reasons. One, Cade didn't really play that much to begin the season, and when he was like at the beginning of the season, like rose ass. And 2, I don't really have the stats on top of my head or like in front of me or anything, but Sadiq like maybe averaged like a couple more points, but he was shooting pretty fucking inefficiently. I do feel like I deserve like slight credit because he did have a 50 ball this season, so like number 5.
And last but not least, I got the Indiana Pacers sneaking their way into the playoffs.
It was like really a biased one for me just because like I'm a huge ass fan of Malcolm Brogdon and Miles Turner and shit, and I thought they were gonna like actually, you know, like pull something off, and they fucking didn't. Part of that was attributed to injury and stuff. Part of it was just front office ineptitude. The Pacers are ultimately, you know, still in that purgatory area. They're like the kings of the East. Which is kind of funny because they did end up making a trade with the Kings at the deadline, and they, in my opinion, won that trade. But only time will tell. I mean, like both of them still were ass at the end of the day, so like it didn't really amount to much. Yeah, that's how my takes aged. I was 2 out of 5. I feel like that's like good enough, I guess. My hot take for the playoffs, off the top of my head, I'm gonna say Warriors versus Heat in the finals. Warriors in 6.